Hey guys, right here I have a 2013 Audi A6 Hybrid. And today I'm going to make a startup and full vehicle tour video of it. Show you the features inside and out. So here is the key fob. Let's go ahead and start it up first. If you press and hold on the unlock button, you're able to roll down all 4 windows simultaneously, as well as open up the sunroof as a vent. And to close all of them back together, just press and hold on the lock button. As simple as that. Comfort Key, which is basically Audi's version of a keyless entry and start system, is an optional extra that has been specified on this particular A6 Hybrid. So, just have the key fob on yourself. The doors are currently unlocked. To lock the doors, hit the square indentation on the door handles. To unlock the doors, just simply tap the area behind the door handles. This car has traveled 17,018 kilometers in about a year or so. Also, with that keyless entry, keyless start is standard as well. Just make sure the key fob is inside the car. Put your foot on the brake and press the start button to the left of the gear lever. Also, as you can see, the side mirrors are currently folded in. Upon unlocking the car, the side mirrors don't immediately fold out. You have to get into the car and start the engine. The A6 Hybrid gets an electric rack and pinion power steering system. Standard for the A6 Hybrid is a leather-wrapped steering wheel in a 4-spoke design with minor sport grips at the 10 and 2 o'clock positions. An 8-speed automatic is the only transmission available for the A6 Hybrid. There is Sport mode, activated by clicking the gear lever down once while in drive. To put it back into drive, just click the gear lever down once more. Shifting the lever over to the left while in drive activates the Tiptronic manual shifting. There are 2 ways to shift manually, either via the plus and minus down by the gear lever or via the pedal shifters on the back of the top 2 steering wheel spokes. The left pedal downshifts while the right pedal upshifts. Shifting the transmission into reverse activates the parking sensors as well as the optional reverse camera that shows up on the 8-inch MMI display. There are lines on the display that help you while reversing, and there is also a handy parking sensors diagram to the right of the display. Pressing the bottom left quadrant button turns off the camera and only shows the parking sensors diagram. Pressing the bottom right quadrant button, on the other hand, brings up some of the parking aid settings, such as the front and rear parking sensors, volume and frequency, as well as how much do you want the in-car entertainment to fade away while the sensors are active. Pressing the top right quadrant button changes the guidance lines view. You can also manually activate or deactivate the reverse camera and the parking sensors via the button on the dashboard. In terms of safety, the A6 Hybrid gets 6 airbags, anti-lock braking system with electronic brake force distribution and brake assist, traction control, electronic differential lock, driver steering recommendation, electronic stability program, immobilizer, and ISOFIX child seat anchor points for the rear seats. Now, let's go ahead and turn on the hazards, lights, rear fog lights, take a look at the engine, and roll down the driver's side window. Standard on Malaysian spec A6 hybrids are 18-inch, 10-arm turbine design cast aluminium rims. For this particular A6 hybrid, the rims are covered in Michelin Primacy 3 245/45 R18 tires. Ventilated disc brakes can be found at all 4 corners, while the suspension consists of double wishbones in the front and a multi-link setup at the back. The current A6, also known by its C7 codename, is currently in its 4th generation. However, when Audi first started selling E-segment executive cars back in 1968, the car wasn't known as the A6 yet. It was known as the Audi 100. The 100 name lasted for about 3.5 generations, from the C1 generation till the pre-facelift C4 generation, before the C4 generation gained the A6 name when the whole range was facelifted in 1994. The C7 Audi A6 made its debut back in 2011, and the design is heavily influenced by its two bigger brothers, the A7 and the A8. Underneath the bonnet of the A6 Hybrid lies a 2-litre dual overhead cam, 16-valve, turbocharged inline-4 engine. This engine features direct fuel injection and Audi's valve lift system. The engine itself produces 211 horsepower from 4300 to 6000 RPM and 350 Nm of torque from 1500 to 4200 RPM. The electric motor that is present in the A6 Hybrid is fed by a 1.3 kWh lithium-ion battery that is located underneath the boot floor. The electric motor produces 54 horsepower and 210 Nm of torque. Total combined output is 245 horsepower and 480 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 takes 7.5 seconds, while the top speed is rated at 240 km per hour. Combined fuel consumption for the A6 Hybrid on a 73-litre fuel tank is 6.2 litres per 100 km. 145 grams of carbon dioxide is produced per kilometer, and the A6 Hybrid is front-wheel drive. The C7 Audi A6 arrived in Malaysia around the end of September 2011. It was only available in a single variant at launch, which was the 3-litre TFSI with quattro all-wheel drive and 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission. Another variant was added later, this being the front-wheel drive 2-litre TFSI equipped with a multitronic continuously variable transmission. February 2013 saw the launch of the A6 Hybrid, which is the third C7 A6 variant available in Malaysia, and it also happens to be the cheapest and most well-equipped A6 variant. Exterior features of the A6 Hybrid includes automatic auto-leveling LED headlights with LED daytime running lights and cornering lights, LED front, side and rear indicators, LED rear lights, LED number plate lights, automatic high beams, front and rear parking sensors, rear fog lights, headlight washer system, and dual chrome exhaust pipes. Right down here you do have a speaker, and right in here you do have your boot release button, as well as some storage. Right here you do have your window controls, all of them are fully automatic in both ways, as well as your individual electronic child lock for the rear doors. Your mirror controls are located right here. And right up here you do have your central locking right next to your interior door handle, as well as your 2-person memory for the fully powered driver's seat right here. And as mentioned, the A6 Hybrid does get a fully powered driver's seat as standard. All of your controls are located right here, including your 4-way lumbar support. Hybrid door sills, and right here your interior brightness adjustment knob. Alright. So let's go ahead and see how she revs. The A6 Hybrid does come standard with a quad-zone automatic climate control system. All of your front controls are located right here. You do have a separate set of controls for the back, which I'll show you later. But for the front, you do have your off button right here, air conditioning, automatic for the passenger side and automatic for the driver's side, front and rear defrost, sync, fan speed, different modes, and your recirculation. If you hit your different modes, you can use the knob to scroll to the desired mode. If you hit the fan speed, you can select your desired fan speed. And to go back to temperature, just hit the fan button again. Sync basically means if you have it turned on, the driver's side will control the temperature, fan speed and different modes, as well as your automatic mode for all 4 zones in the car. But if you turn it off, each of the 4 zones will have their own individual automatic fan speed, mode and temperature control. As standard, the A6 Hybrid comes with Audi's MMI Navigation Plus with MMI Touch, an 8-inch TFT display, and various media connectivity options. Audi sound system is on board as well, featuring a 6-channel amplifier with 10 speakers, producing 180 watts of power. Even though this A6 has the base sound system, not the upgraded Bose unit, the speakers still sound quite good. This is your main menu. It works in a 4-quadrant format, so you do have one option to the top left, one option to the top right, another one to the bottom left, and another one to the bottom right. As mentioned, we are currently in your main menu. The whole screen right there is controlled using your set of controls right here with the knob in the center that scrolls to the left, scrolls to the right, clicks down for enter, your 4-quadrant buttons, as well as your radio, media, navigation, telephone, menu, and car shortcut buttons. You also do have your back button right here. So for now, let's go to media. And if we hit source, you can access your current song playing information with title, artist, album, and elapsed time. If you hit copy, which is the top left quadrant, you can copy the song to the hard drive inside the car. If you hit the bottom left quadrant, which is functions, you can play, pause, go forward a track, go back a track, track information. If you hit settings, you can access your sound settings with your digital sound processing, subwoofer, bass, treble, and your balance and fader. Hit back to go to your previous menu. You can also access your Bluetooth settings. Your jukebox memory status, as well as delete the songs on the jukebox. If we hit source, it actually brings up your list of different media options. You do have Bluetooth, audio streaming, auxiliary, USB, Audi media interface, 6 DVD changer as well as a single CD player in the middle. I'll show you the DVD changer in a minute. But you also do have SD card input and, like I said, a hard drive inside the car which enables you to store your music. You can access that music through jukebox. Right, if we go back to the main menu, in radio you can access your FM AM menus, tune to your desired radio stations and all that. If we access tone, basically your different sound system settings as shown earlier. Navigation. Right now we are in your map options with your route criteria, map colors, and all that. And we're currently in your main maps. If you use the knob to scroll left and right, we can zoom in and out of the map. If we hit the bottom left quadrant, you can access your destination menu where you can enter an address, search via directories, favorites, pinpoint the location on the map, start the navigation, access special destinations, which basically means points of interest, and look at your last destination. Top right quadrant, your traffic information, which is not available right here. If you use this touchpad right here, you can access your interactive maps. You can scroll to your desired location and save it so you can use that location as your destination. Quite interesting. Next up, we do have your basically your traffic information again. Your Bluetooth telephone menu where you can dial a number, look at your received calls, missed calls, input your phone book from your phone so you can look at it through the system. You can also access your voicemail and all that. Hit the bottom right quadrant to access your Bluetooth telephone settings with your call options, telephone settings, as well as Bluetooth settings. And lastly, car, where you have your Audi drive select, your different driving modes, comfort, automatic, dynamic, and individual. If you hit the bottom left quadrant, you can access your car, your various car systems, vehicle settings, your lights, locks. You can access your driver assistance functions as well, speed warning, parking aids, your air conditioning settings, as well as your service information with your tire pressure monitoring system, oil level, service indicators and all that. You can also access your wiper service position. You can also select your individual settings for your Audi Drive Select system via the bottom right quadrant button. Now, since we are done with all the menus right there, since we are in the main menu, you do notice a couple of options right above. So if we go to the top left quadrant, we can access the hybrid system indicator. And if we go to the top right quadrant, we can access the MMI settings with your language, time, units, brightness, reset the system back to factory settings, perform an update and all that. And that's about it. Down below right here, you do have a CD player. It is MP3 compatible. Hit this open button. A flap opens up and it reveals 2 SD card slots. You do have your eject button right here for the CD player as well. Down below, this button enables the A6 Hybrid to run on full EV mode. As shown earlier, this button activates or deactivates your parking sensors as well as your reverse camera. This one is for your rear sunshade. And this one turns off your traction control. You do have some storage right there. And your electronic parking brake is located right here. It is currently engaged. Put your foot on the brake, push it down to disengage it, and simply pull it back up to engage the parking brake again. You also have an auto hold function for the parking brake, activated via this button, whereby if activated, and when you arrive at a stop, the car is in drive and you lift your foot off the brake, the car won't actually move forward or roll back. Also, this touchpad right here, apart from scrolling up, down, left, or whatever direction it is for your interactive map in your navigation menu, you can also have your 6 customizable stations for the radio menu or your Bluetooth telephone keypad, as well as your letter input for your navigation address. Right here you do have your volume and power knob as well as your seat track buttons. Hit this button right here to close the screen. And this button resets the trip meter. Electronic central locking, and as shown earlier, power folding mirrors. The A6 Hybrid also does come with heated mirrors. Now on the steering wheel, the right spoke, this wheel right here controls your volume. This one turns on or off your voice guidance for your navigation. And right here, this button is for your navigation information.
Navigation is not active.
And your voice control is activated using this button right here. Help!
You can operate many functions of the MMI quickly and easily with the speech dialogue system. You can interrupt the speech dialogue at any time by pressing the talk button on the steering wheel to enter a command. You can say help or cancel at any time. Press and hold the talk button to cancel a speech dialogue. Please choose one of the following topics for further information.
Cancel.
cancel.
Now, once you activate your voice control, if you did not know how to use it, just ask for help and the system can walk you through your different options. On the left spoke, you do have your controls for your multi-information display. This button right here pulls up your different sub-menus. Left and right goes through your different main menus, while this one scrolls through your different displays just below the digital speedometer. Right now we do have your date, elapsed time, average fuel consumption, average speed, distance traveled. Hit this button, brings up your sub-menus for your driving data. You can have your onboard computer information in the main screen. You do have your driving data since the last reset with your average fuel consumption, average speed, elapsed time, and distance traveled since the last startup, distance traveled, average speed, and all that. You can have your hybrid system indicator right here as well. Your efficiency program, digital speedometer, your cruise control settings, and dimming the display. Right here you do have your audio menu with your song information. Hit that button to select your different source. Your Bluetooth telephone menu and your navigation menu. If your navigation was active, it would be displayed right there, but it's now just displaying the compass. Hit this button to access your navigation sub-menus with your different views. Down below, on the left side, you also do have your outside temperature, time. In the middle, you do have your gear position, and on the right, your trip meter and mileage. On the top left stalk, you do have your indicators. Bottom left stalk is for your cruise control. And on the top right stalk, you do have your wiper controls. The steering wheel in this car is tilt and telescopic. It is manually adjustable. Use this lever to adjust it. You do have a couple of cup holders down here, central armrest, 2-tier storage, smaller one right above, and a bigger one down below. You do have a power outlet right here, as well as your Audi media interface connection. Right now you do have your USB port. The armrest is also adjustable. Auto dimming, rear view mirror, and right up here you do have your interior lights. Your sunroof controls in the middle. It is fully powered. You can also open it up as a vent. You do have your sun visor with vanity mirror and light. as well as a grip handle right up here. I'll leave the engine on for a moment to show you the rear climate control system. You do have a speaker down there with some storage. Your window control right here. And you do have a rear sunshade for both the rear windows. The rear seats do fold. Just locate this lever right here, pull it, and flip the seat back down. Hybrid door sills for the back as well. The driver's seat is in a position that I would be comfortable in. I do have quite a lot of leg room, about this much, and about this much headroom. Not much room to stretch out my legs underneath the driver's seat, but you do get storage pockets on the front seat backs, rear aircon vents right in the middle, as well as on the B pillar. And your rear climate control controls. Temperature settings for both sides, automatic off, automatic for the right side, your fan controls, as well as your different mode controls. You do have a couple of power outlets right here. And you do have a rear center armrest with storage down below, as well as your Audi first aid kit. And a couple of cup holders. You do have your rear lights right up here. As well as grip handles and hooks for both sides. You also do have hooks on the B pillar. Alright. So I guess that's it for the startup. We can turn it off right now. And continue with the rest of the tour. Now, there are a couple of ways to open up the boot. There's the touchpad right beneath the Audi badge, and there is also the button on the key fob. Boot space in the A6 Hybrid is 375 litres with the rear seats in place, which is 155 litres less than the 530 litres found in a regular A6 saloon. As mentioned before, this is due to the battery powering the electric motor located underneath the boot floor. However, if the need for more boot space arises, the rear seat backs can fold down. You do have a storage pocket to the right of the boot. You do have a rear sunshade for this side as well. Adjustable headrests front and rear. The front passenger seat is fully powered as well. It just loses out on the memory settings found on the driver's side. You still do get your speaker down there with some storage and your window control. Lockable glove box. Part of the glove box is actually taken up by your 6 DVD changer right here. You do have your electronic central locking on this side as well. And there is a sun visor with vanity mirror and lights for the front passenger too. Alright, so let's start it up with the door closed. Alright, so that's it for the startup and full vehicle tour video of this 2013 Audi A6 Hybrid. Thanks for watching and goodbye.